Hello and welcome to Life with Laurie. Well, I am 2 weeks post-op. Had my first appointment yesterday and everything's going well. They didn't do any filling, but just to fill you in if you're only just new to the channel, I had a mastectomy 2 years ago due to breast cancer, and then I've had a mastectomy 2 weeks ago on the right side due to breast cancer, and now have had expanders fitted at the same time. So it was a 4-hour operation, but everything went well. I got out of hospital like 5 days after and I feel really good. But I thought that I would come on here and tell you 5 things that I actually did not expect in regards to like the healing process and how I feel up to now. Now, it has only been 2 weeks. I haven't had a fill yet. I did see them yesterday. I saw my team yesterday and he's going to do a fill in 2 weeks. I also have had 100 mil on the side. That's 2 years post mastectomy op. They can only fit the 100 mil in because the skin it's just so tight. Like they remove skin, and it's a whole different procedure than it is if you're having those expanders fitted immediately, which is what they did on the right side. So I'm very lopsided, but to be honest, it's temporary. You know, like I keep telling myself that this is temporary. So here's 5 things that I did not expect and that have kind of caught me off guard. So I thought that if anybody else was going to go into this or they wanted some information, then this information is stuff that I guess I didn't really pick up on or think about at the time of signing up. Would I have signed up anyway? Absolutely. I don't think it's a reason, any of these 5 reasons should be a hindrance, but I do feel like somebody should have given me the heads up, okay? So here they are. Okay, so number 1, simple movements are an absolute challenge. Now, I'm not a very big person, but getting out of bed, getting into bed, getting dressed, you basically have to wear clothing that is opening at the front, such as my jacket or a button-up shirt. You can't put your hands above you. Like at the beginning, I couldn't even like lift my arms up at all. Like not going to happen. You're very chicken armed, okay? Like your little wings have to stay down. So just simple things like pulling yourself into bed. You'd be really surprised, I think, at how often you use your arms to lift your body weight. You can't do that. You cannot do that because the implants are actually sewn into, or the expanders rather, are sewn into your chest, your pectoral muscles, and your chest wall is what's being expanded, not just the skin, but the muscles as well. You cannot use your arms for pretty much anything, even to start with, like brushing my teeth. It's ridiculous. Brushing my hair didn't happen for 2 weeks. Washing my hair didn't happen for 2 weeks. Simple showering, all that didn't happen for 2 weeks. So it's only sort of been the last few days that I'm able to move around a lot more freely. Can't lift anything heavy. My dog's 5 kilos. He's looking at me like wondering why I am not picking him up and putting him on the bed or cuddling him. And that is because you cannot lift anything. I couldn't even pick up the kettle, couldn't pick up the milk. I had to get the milk put into a little jug to do that. Even like lifting knife and fork, like just moving your arms to use a knife and fork. So if you're wondering, yeah, you're very impaired, and the payoff for that is my quads right now. I feel like I've done like 100 squats a day. Like it's burning, and I can feel muscle fatigue in my legs. So I guess the upside is my legs are getting hella stronger, and that's going to be ongoing because I'm not going to be able to weight bang. I'm not going to be able to weight bear on my arms while these are in situ, which they're saying will be about 3 months. So that's number 1. Get ready for trying to figure out. So probably going into this, you want to make sure that you are quite able to weight bear just on your legs. So if you can get up off the ground just using your legs, you've got an advantage. Okay, so that's number 1. Number two would be the tightness that you feel in the chest area, and you've got to wear a bra 24/7. So you're sleeping in a bra, everything, you have to have that bra on. The only time you take it off is obviously to have a shower, have a quick wash, if you're not going to have a shower. So that bra's got to stay on. And the tightness is like having a very rigid bra on. I'd imagine like if you were to put like wrap alfoil around yourself, that's kind of how it feels, because you can't freely move. You're basically feeling this tightness. And then even when you take your bra off, you're like, oh, okay, well, it didn't make any difference at all. I'm still feeling super like tight. So that tightness is constant. Whether you're resting, sitting, sleeping, moving, you've constantly got something around your chest that feels like it's squeezing. I'm assuming that's going to get worse when I have the fills, and probably won't be very comfortable for a couple of days after the fill, because it's not just your skin that's tight, it's your actual chest wall. I still have a fair bit out of bruising. That's why they didn't do the fill yesterday. And I'm assuming that when that goes down a little bit, I'll start to feel better. You can't take ibuprofen, like you can't take any anti-inflammatories and stuff like that, especially early on, because it can promote like bleeding. And they want you to stay away from those, because, and it also it takes away healing properties as well. So early on in the day, early on in the process, you don't really want to be using those. I did use some last night because I was in the car for 5 hours, and I was extremely tired. So I did take some last night, but that's the first time in the 2-week period. And I will use them again, but it's only when you really need them. You don't really want to use them. I basically just use Panadol when I need to, which hasn't been a lot lately. So yeah, number 2, tight, super tightness around the chest. Number 3, sleeping is super difficult. So I bought a wedge pillow in preparation. It's just a triangular pillow, and I put pillows on that pillow because you can only sleep on your back. I am not a back sleeper. I have never in my life slept on my back, not even as a baby. And sleeping on my back, super difficult. Super difficult. I generally sleep on my stomach. And my fight and flight response on my back is like something's gonna like fall on me or something all the time. I always have this like trauma response to sleeping on my back. So it's taken me a good while. The other thing is that when you sleep on your back, you're on your tailbone, and that pressure on your tailbone becomes really uncomfortable. I don't think there's much I can do about that. I just move my pillows around periodically. I feel like what I probably should have done is gotten up and got into the recliner chair in the lounge room. And I think from now on, when I can't sleep, that's what I'll do. I'll just put the TV on and get in the recliner, because I feel like the recliner would help. The problem is I slide down, sliding on down to the end of the bed where the dog is laying. He's looking at me like, what is wrong with you, woman? And being winter, you're trying to pull blankets up. Can't do that. Don't be pulling the blankets. So sleeping has been a big problem, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't made a video. I've just been so tired. I just haven't had the energy to do much at all. So last night though, I slept like a log, but I don't think every night's going to be like that. But I'm just grateful for the nights that I do get to sleep. So get ready for sleeping on your back, and it's long term. So even after I have the expanders removed and the implants replacing the expanders, I'm going to have to spend more time on my back. So it's a marathon. So number 4 is expanders do not feel like breasts. It's like having a Tupperware container under your skin, or it's foreign, right? So you've got the outer side of the plastic, and then you've got the part where they fill is like a bag, and that part that is connected to your chest wall is hard. It's hard. It's medical plastic basically, or medical something. I think it's plastic. It's hard. I can literally, now that the swelling's going down, and I can actually feel the outline, and I move my arm sometimes and it's right there. So don't expect your expanders, when you get them, don't expect them to mimic what the end result is going to be. because it's nothing like it. They're very hard, very rigid. They sit quite high up on my chest, because of, obviously, we're trying to stretch skin. We're not really worried about, placement or anything. He's placed them essentially where he needs to place them in order for that to take place, but they're quite high up, and they're very rigid and very hard, so they don't feel and they don't move naturally. It's quite weird. It's quite that it's foreign, like your brain knows that there's something foreign there. It's like, okay, like you're constantly trying to get around it. But is it painful? No, it's just uncomfortable, which takes a little bit of getting used to. So there's that one too. The last one, which I really wasn't ready for, is the mental recovery. Looking at myself in the mirror, my body, I wasn't happy with how I looked after having the left mastectomy. There's no doubt about it. When you have cancer, any sort of cancer, it changes you as a person. There's no way to go through that. You're faced with your own mortality. You're faced with, uncertainty. Anytime you get a lump or anything that comes up, you're always like red flagging it. Is this cancer? Is it back again? Now, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer back in 2007, which it never goes into remission. The thyroid cancer can come back at any time. Thyroid tissue can grow in any place in your body. It was quite an aggressive cancer that I had back then. I was 38, and going through that, was a thing. But it was very hidden, and it was, as far as cancers go, it was very livable. Like the outcome was good. With breast cancer though, it's very obvious, and it's quite an attack on your femininity, and it's quite it takes you to a very dark place if you let it. And I feel like I've gone through what I would probably say is a grieving process, because obviously I've had the mastectomy on the other side now. I have no nipples. Hopefully YouTube allows me to say that, because it's real. We can talk about these things. We're all adults here. And to look at myself in the mirror and see the fallout from the surgery, obviously I have a wound that travels from the center of my chest all the way underneath my arm, and just seeing yourself like that, it's, for me anyway, I don't know about anybody else, but for me it takes, even though that's what's going to happen, physically, but mentally, when you are faced with that every day that you take your clothing off, you have to check to make sure that it's not getting infected and all that, so you do have to look at it. It's a sense of, it's humbling as well, but it's also, it feels like an attack. I think having the mastectomy on the right side brought a lot of the trauma back from the left side, and I wasn't in a good place then, and it brought a lot of that back. So in my own head, I've been going over a lot of things and trying to heal from that on another level. So it's like, it's like not reliving it. I won't say that it was reliving it, because obviously it's gone, it's done, and I have moved on, but it brings a lot of that stuff up. So I feel like the other thing is too, that people keep saying, oh, have you had your boob job yet? For those people that say that, I know that they don't mean it, but for people to say it's a boob job, I'm sorry. This is not an augmentation. What people go through with breast cancer and the healing from that and getting some form of breast back, it is not augmentation. It is not cosmetic. It is reconstruction. It is not much different to somebody losing an arm and getting to have that sewn back on, or having fingers missing. It's reconstruction. So if you're listening to this and you have somebody, a family member or whatever, please don't call it a boob job, because it's not a boob job. We are not going to have these perfect 25-year-old breasts at the end of it. The reality is there's going to be a lot of scarring. They may not look, symmetrical. There's probably going to be lumps and bumps that you don't have a nipple sparing is rarely done because, one, the nipple can become necrotic, and also, two, the nipple itself is a breeding ground. If you've had breast cancer, it's a breeding ground for that to come back there. So it's often looked at as a more effective surgery in regards to keeping cancer away, to get rid of the nipple, okay? So it's not a boob job. The reality is, the reason I wanted breasts, one, so that my clothes look symmetrical, and two, so that I have, I can normalize myself, and three, I don't want to die of breast cancer. Ultimately, that's ultimately it, and I didn't want to have radiation. So I could have had a partial on this side and had radiation, but I didn't want that. And I'm so glad now that I didn't, because radiation complicates the shit out of getting expanders. So please don't call it a boob job. It ain't a boob job. Okay, so I think that's that. So I thought that perhaps I would do a bonus. I got done 5. That's 5. So I'm going to do a bonus one, and that is that you get itchy and you can't scratch it because you can't reach. There's like a zapping pain that happens when nerves are coming back online. Now, I haven't had that probably for a few days, but the first week after, I was getting like really weird zapping pain. The other thing I will say is this tingling spider crawling on your skin feeling, and I basically just put my hand on that to try and stop it. But that tingly spider, it's because I think too, the weather here is either you're in the sun and you're quite warm, and if you're inside you're cold, and I think that's just the skin expanding and contracting. But boy, does it feel like something's crawling on you. And there are some areas of my skin that I can touch and it's completely numb. So it's very important that if you do shower, you are very, very careful with the temperature of the water, because what you feel on that skin is not necessarily the temperature. You have to be very careful. So yeah, these sensations of these nerves waking up and the skin coming back online with the zapping and the tingling and all that, yeah, that takes a little bit of getting used to. So that's the bonus one. So I guess that's six little hot takes on what I didn't expect. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I will do an update next fortnight and let you know how I go with the little fill that we're going to do. I won't lie, I'm a little scared. But I'm sure it'll be fine. My surgeon, he's a wonderful guy. He's lovely. He's very approachable. He has a very good bedside manner, which is very rare with surgeons. Generally speaking, they're not good at talking to people. They're good at with a knife and not good with the mouth. So, but he's great. He's been fantastic, and his whole team have been great. I can't say enough about them. So I'll let you all know how that goes next fortnight. But until then, thank you for joining me. I hope that you have an absolutely banger week, and I shall see you next time.